welcome to my channel. It's Joey Sewy and we do sewing, styling and self-care around here. Today we are halfway through Me Made May, almost exactly, because it is midday on day 15, and I am going to show you what I've been wearing, and we're going to do a little bit of a roundup of how my Me Made May has been going, and I am curious about how yours has. So I'm going to start off with what I'm wearing. I'm wearing Me Made top and bottom and necklace and bracelet. We've gone all out today. These are all, no, the necklace you haven't seen before, but everything else you've seen before. So I'm going to go back into the sunshine for a moment, show you what I'm wearing, and then chat about it. So I'm wearing my Samara pants. Very flappy pants. Last time you saw them, I was super excited about them. I'm still rather excited about them. And I'm wearing my self-drafted top, which was based off a shirt pattern that I then changed so that I added the gathers, I took the collar away, I added the gathers at the back, on the back yoke. It's tucked in at the waist. I am also wearing my leather thong bracelet that I showed you yesterday, and I'm wearing this necklace, which I'll step back into the sunshine but then I have to shade my eyes. So this necklace was from a charity shop, and I think it was probably gold in colour when I first got it, and that's not my colour, but I really liked the motif. There it is. So I painted it with acrylic paint, and that is what you see here, and it's very aligned with the colours of the rest of my outfit. And I am also wearing, right down at the bottom of my outfit, I am wearing pink shoes because there is pink in the top. So the pink shoes, the intention is that it reflects the pink top. I think if I had shoes that were kind of this or this aqua colour, I'd probably have gone for those, but I don't. I have a lot of shoes, but I don't have that colour. So I feel like, so I love both of these items. They are very freshly Me Made, but I'm only kind of an 8 out of 10 about putting them together. I think I think it's okay, but I'm not looking at them together thinking this is an amazing outfit. And actually outfit building is what I'm going to be kind of focusing on in the next week of my Me Made May vlog every day odyssey, because it does make a difference. You know, you can love the top. I love this top. You can love the trousers. I really love the trousers, but it doesn't always mean, I mean, obviously some don't always go together, but there's a lot that you might think would go with these, and you may differ. You may think it's the best outfit you've ever seen, in which case, thank you very much. Or you may agree with me that's like, they're okay, but as a combo, then maybe not the best. Yeah, so what we're going to go into is we're going to go into having a look at what all my outfits have been, because if you haven't been watching every day, and you know that might not be the case because maybe you've got a life that takes you away, maybe you have other YouTubers you watch, all of these are fine reasons not to have watched every day. You won't have seen what I've worn on Me Made May every day, so I'm going to do a little quick recap, and then also a bit of a reflection about what have I learned from that process and what might I take forward so far. We've still got half a month to go, so I've still got plenty to learn, and plenty more reflection, but that's what we're doing today. I'm going to hand over to VoiceOver Me.
Hello, it is VoiceOver Me. So I've prepared a little slideshow. It's not going to be death by PowerPoint, but it's just a summary of all my outfits from day 1 to day today, or day yesterday actually, of Me Made May. So on day 1 I wore this Mercer top from Sewing in the City, and I'm going to talk through what I was wearing very briefly because I've told you every day, so I'm not going to bore you, but kind of talk about what I've learned from it, or what I liked or what I disliked. So this was the day when I recorded a video and said out loud, I'm going to do a video every day in May. I still don't know why I did that, but this was what I was wearing when I uttered those words. It is a ready-to-wear shirt and trousers, but the Me Made part of that is the Mercer top. I do like the shoulder details on that. I haven't talked about remaking it this month in all of my talk of making all the things, but it is one that I really should think about making again because I do like it very much. It does have a sleeved version, which I've never made. Day 2 was Me Made Light because it was this vintage, was a tunic, became a tank top. I made it become a tank top. Day 3, no Me Made. Shock horror. But actually, since I recorded that, I have done something Me Made to this sweatshirt. I decided I wanted to add some extra shoulder bulk to lift my shoulders a little bit. So now I would count it as a Me Made because it's got some hand sewing in it. And I will, if I don't wear it before then, I'll show you it in the end of month roundup. Day 4, I was wearing the Pauline Alice Carme blouse. I think I had some next jeggings on the bottom half, but the Carme blouse. Carme blouse is definitely something that has appeared more than once. There are quite a few patterns that have. I've only repeated 2 garments, but I've repeated the patterns quite a lot. Day 5 is another pattern that has become repeated. It's the Closet Core Patterns Jenny trousers. Actually repeated 3 things because I've repeated these white jeans later. And this t-shirt, which was from a charity shop, cannot remember the high street brand, but it's very much like the Agnes top. Always reminds me of that. Day 6, Paper Theory block tee. I've got at least 3 iterations of this. I've only worn, did I wear my purple one? No, I haven't actually worn my purple one this month. I've shown you them, but I've only worn one this month so far. Should probably put that on the list. And M&S stuff as well. Love the colour of this so much. Day 7, it was the first outing of my Granville shirt pattern hack, and I was very excited. Not as excited as I got later, as you may or may not know. Amazing fabric I got from Just Sew in Penrith. Day 8 was High Street again, but this one was altered because I had changed how the sleeves were. Don't have a great picture, but that's what I wore on day 8. Day 9, all of it originally from the High Street, but those trousers were the ones that I'd basically taken the waistband apart and put back together. So I'm having them all day long as Me Made. And to pause just a moment, that is, so you'll have noticed already that a lot of my Me Mades are not made from scratch by me, because that's a lot of the way that I use my sewing, and that I have been using my sewing in recent years. As I've kind of explored and developed my style, I have used the High Street and Vinted, so the High Street via Vinted, to experiment with shapes and colours in a way that I wouldn't have wanted to take the risk to do that with my time, my effort, my emotional energy, because making something that doesn't work out can be really disappointing, and there's only so many times you can do that before you really don't want to sew anymore, or at least before you get a real lack of sojo, as we call it. As a Joe, I won't take offence. So as I've been developing things, I've found it so much more kind to myself, so much more effective, so much more fun to experiment with the shapes and the styles by looking on the High Street. It doesn't mean that I've actually bought tons of things off the High Street, but you can go to the High Street and you can try on, what, if you're mad enough, 100 items in a day, and you can go, no, that one doesn't work, that one doesn't work, that one works a bit, that shape works, but that colour doesn't work. If you were sewing that, I mean, how long would it take to sew 100 items? How much would it cost to make 100 items that you had no use for? I know I'm a bit excessive, as if, well, I mean, some of us have probably made 100 things that we don't like anymore. If you look back over the archives of my channel and then look at my wardrobe audit, I don't have a lot of what I've made still in my wardrobe, so maybe I do fall into that category. So as I've been learning and refining and developing, I've done a lot of that through the High Street. Now that I feel kind of at a stage in my learning that I'm much more confident and comfortable about the elements that work, maybe, and I'm thinking out loud to you now, I'm using you as my therapy session as a therapist. Maybe that's why I've started falling back in love with sewing, because now I feel so much more confident. Not 100%, there are still going to be fails. I'm looking at you, Stylark. There are still going to be fails. I digress, but it's actually not the style of Stylark that's caused me grief. And I'm going to have another go at that pattern. If you've been following, you'll know. If you don't know, it's probably not the last time I'm going to gripe about it. Anyway, I am more willing to and more able to choose the styles that I like. So that was a big digression on day 9. But yeah, you will have seen I'm not, and if you watch day 1, you will know that I wasn't doing Me Made May purist way, which is only Me Made every day, head to toe. I couldn't unless I probably like just wore one outfit. So day 10, what was day 10? Ah, yes, I love this blouse. It's high street. It's jigsaw, I think, with Jenny trousers, which I haven't worn those trousers very much. I think it's the colour. I think I thought they didn't fit very well, and I think when I got them back on, I disagreed with myself. But it's so warm, and they are really good lightweight trousers. And before my Samara pants love affair, I didn't really have any lightweight trousers. Day 11. God, I love this outfit. This might be my favourite. I don't know. I hadn't thought about going for a favourite. Oh, to be fair, I love that outfit because blouse. Oh, and I love that outfit because colour and blouse. Love that one. Okay, yeah, all right, Jo. Anyway, day 11. I didn't make any of this, but I did paint that blouse. So sewing low, 0 actually, made quite high, I would say. And I just love how that outfit came together, especially my new necklace. Love that too. Here we are, a repeat of the Pauline Alice Carme blouse on day 12. So it's not the same one because it was purple and stripy on, what was it, 2 or 3? This is a blue cotton lawn. The colour's incredible. You know, it's like the colour of the blue there. Different execution, different fabric, but the tone is the same. A lot of you said the colours in this one are even better, and I probably would agree actually. That's why it breaks the floral rule, but it stays in my wardrobe because it wins on colour every time. And I also, here's another way in which I kind of make things mine, and it's not sewing. Although you're threading something, is the customised laces. I've done that on quite a few pairs of my trainers, and I really like how that both makes it my own and also, to be fair, makes it what I want it to be. Day 13, I went wild. I'm wearing them today. It's the Samara trousers. This is the first new pattern I've made. It's probably the first new pattern I've made for a long time. Full stop for me, maybe. I couldn't swear to that, but it's the first one I have made that I have immediately fallen in love with and want to make 1,000 times for a really long time. So I know the Samara trousers are going to be a T&T, a tried and true pattern for me. I just know it already. And I've only had them for 3 days. They're getting their second wear today. And that was with a vintage blouse shirt. And then yesterday we had those white jeans repeated. We had me threading my laces differently again. And I rediscovered thong bracelet that I had genuinely forgotten I even owned. I love the blouse. And although the blouse is vintage again, it is one of those shapes that when I was talking about blouse patterns was a real inspiration. So again, it brings in what I'm talking about, where the shapes of my ready-to-wear wardrobe are now re-informing my sewing. So this is how my Me Made May is going so far. I hope you're having a great Me Made May. I would say so far, I have learnt that I can vlog every day. I would not want to do this every day all the time, but I'm really enjoying it. I just blurted out that promise. I literally hadn't thought about it before the words came out of my mouth on camera. And so that's what I decided I would try and do. I honestly didn't think I would do it when I said it, but I was like, okay, if it doesn't succeed, it doesn't succeed. What have I got to lose? And here I am on day 15, halfway through. Still, I've got loads of ideas that will definitely outlast May. I've got loads of support from you guys. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning to fall back in love with vlogging. I am learning to translate my ready to wear to sewn wardrobe. I've got more inspired to do more sewing. So I guess, and I've been excited about putting outfits together. And like I said earlier in the video when I was outside, that's what I'm going to focus on talking about a bit more this week. In the background I'll be sewing, and I'll probably bring you into my sewing room a few more times. But I am going to be talking about how to build outfits. How do I build outfits? What do I think about? So not every day, but that is my general theme. Tomorrow we have a shopping video. So yesterday was Bertie's first A-level exam, and while he was in there working very hard writing about Shakespeare and the like, I needed distraction because I wasn't distracted by having to write some really difficult essays. I was just taxi. So I went thrifting, as US calls it. I like that word. We don't really have an equivalent. Charity shopping. And I found some gems, found more than I needed, but there's loads of sewing ideas in there. So I will tell you all about how that is relevant to sewing, because it's very much through a sewing lens and not just copying shapes, but other things too. That is in store tomorrow. So I hope you join me. I hope you're enjoying Me Made May. Last minute, don't forget to give me any Q&As down below. That video is not many days away, and I will be back tomorrow with another vlog. Take care till then, and thanks for watching. Bye.